So this is something that we are seeing a lot this year at ITB, a lot of conversation around the fragmentation of tech stack. So last year, there was a lot of focus around AI and the excitement of AI. And between last year and this year, a lot of operators have started to, or tried to implement big AI frameworks. What they are dealing with is the realization that their tech stack is indeed very fragmented, and that is hurting their AI capabilities. So we're dealing with a very extensive tech stack. So we've done our own research, and we're seeing that operators, even the really small ones, are dealing with between 4 and 6 systems, and the large one are upwards of 7, 10, 12, 15. By this you mean CRM, PMS, RMS, booking engine, guest portal, whatever it may be. So this fragmentation is a result of having spent a lot of money over the last few years and buying a lot of tech. Unfortunately, maybe not thinking through the integration and the data flow between all of these systems. So you're in situations where now this fragmentation and maybe custom codes between them is making it very difficult for hoteliers and operators to actually scale and operate more efficiently. So fragmentation is real, and I think people are starting to take the full effect of that. Innovation in hospitality is not always tied to technology. It is often tied to technology, and obviously I would say so since I work for a software vendor, so it is in my interest to say so. It is not only. I would say chasing innovation for innovation's sake is never a good idea and doesn't make a lot of good business sense. What we've seen is hoteliers take stock of their priorities. So you've got to really think about your distribution. How are you distributing today? Is that where your problem is? Or is it around the guest experience? Or is it around the guest comm? It may be in housekeeping. It may be simply in your booking engine. Maybe you're trying to be visible on the new AI search engine. Or maybe it's all of it. Typically, innovation still takes time, so you really want to start with what your business problem is today. What is the biggest thing that is preventing you from moving the needle? Look at that, and then try and see if you can solve that. It may be people, it may be processes, or it may be the actual technology that you need. It could be all three. The technology really isn't very tied to a specific tool, so just getting the tool isn't necessarily going to drive the innovation that you need. You really need all of these things to come together: people, processes, and the tech behind. So it's a complex issue, but I would say start with what makes sense for your property, analyze it, and then take it from there. There's a lot of shifts happening. Most of them tied to AI are a result of the AI capabilities. There's two things that we see play out. The first one is we're going to have to somehow get over this fragmentation issue. Without it, there will be no AI profitability. And we're still going to struggle in an industry that is confronted with staff shortages. How do we become more efficient? How do we make better use of the staff that we do have? So that is something. So we're going to have to get over that fragmentation. In the research we've done, we're seeing that over half of the properties that we've researched are spending between at least 1 to 5 hours a week fixing tech spend. That's just the fixing. That's not even innovating, doing better. That's just fixing. So there is a lot of work to do here. The tech is helping by becoming more integrated. So yesterday we've announced our partnership, or enhanced partnership, I should say, with Room Price Genie. They've launched their product called Revenue Intelligence. That is insights of the revenue management systems that are being fed through the PMS directly. So basically what this means is instead of having to navigate between your PMS and your revenue manager, you'll be able to see all these insights and the pricing recommendation straight for one system. That is one way that tech is helping reduce that fragmentation. So the data quality is really good, but also users, front desk, is seeing the benefit, or managers are seeing the benefits of that integration. It will effectively save them time, get them to do better decisions. So really confident that deeper integration between existing tech players is one of the trends that is going to be happening in the next 12 months. And RMS definitely has a role in that, has a play in that. The other thing that we're seeing is we're going to start to see a shift in some of the capabilities that will be required by hoteliers. So we are calling it the hospitality engineer, which is a mix whereby your service skills maybe are no longer enough and you're going to need tech skills. So that blend between hospitality and engineering is what we think is going to make the future of hospitality, because you're going to need to get these tech experts to actually overcome some of the challenges that we've just talked about around the fragmentation. So on one hand, the tech is going to do their bit by becoming more integrated, easier to use, with better insight. And on the other hand, we are going to see a shift in hospitality profile where people are going to be more comfortable with using system, talking APIs, talking to tech vendors, and making sense of that data so hoteliers can operate better. RMS is in a great position to lead that change. So we are a small team, we're a nimble team, we're very, very, very committed to hospitality and Europe in general. So for me, that's very exciting. A company that is committing to the category, making the product better. We have a very exciting AI roadmap. We have wonderful partners that we've just announced deeper integration with. So we're really well positioned, I think, for the next 12 months. And really, RMS is about actual value. We're very Australian in that sense that we don't overpromise and underdeliver. We're very straight with our customers into what's possible and what makes sense. So customers are really receiving that extremely well. The ability to drive real outcomes as opposed to some more potentially marketing claims from other vendors is not something that we do. So we are in an extremely fortunate position, I would say, for the next 12 months. Very excited.